So you've probably come across images like this one over the last couple of weeks circulating social media, and it's just one of many examples of what's going on right now in the Langley to Surrey corridor on Fraser Highway, where the construction for the Skytrain station has been well underway for the last year and a half to 2 years. And so the purpose of this video is to highlight obviously some of these issues, also give you insight on purchasing a home in this area. And being a Langley realtor, one of the areas of focus is Langley City. And today I'm going to be going over a couple things like crime and home prices to date, just to show you what potentially could happen in those areas, so you can make a decision of whether or not to buy there. So if you have already seen what's going on, you're probably familiar with what's happening. Basically, the Skytrain is extending from Surrey Central to Langley City, and it's going down Fraser Highway. This is probably the quickest way from this location all the way to Langley City. But the problem is there is a lot of residential homes along the way. So the issue has been that construction traffic is insane, and also concerns from the public stemming back to when this was originally announced that crime rates might go up. So people were worried about it. So if you look back to this data back from StatsCan, the Skytrain station was from 1994. That's when it opened up. We obviously can't see that far back, but the CSI, Crime Severity Index, from 98, right, was already kind of high around this point. That has, contrary to popular belief, gone down substantially. If you can see, like, it's down to 86 now. Right, and I think this is one of the factors that will play a role in potentially the future values of all the areas surrounding the Skytrain, because I think that if it is true that Skytrain brings more crime, then likely that'll also bring lower prices. For example, Langley City, to compare, we haven't really had the Skytrain. It's not going to be here for another 5 years. If you look back, Langley City, the crime severity index was substantially higher and is still higher today than actually Surrey Central. And I'm a Langley realtor, right? I grew up in Langley. I grew up in Langley City since the 2000s. So I was in the mix when this was all going down. And I want to believe that Langley has a good community, but I guess, in fact, Langley isn't the greatest area. Langley City, that is, right? If you look at Langley Township, so substantially lower than Surrey Central, right? Or Surrey and Langley City. Therefore, what we've seen, if you look at detached, you can see here that Willoughby is up there with Fleetwood, and Willoughby has nothing to do with the Skytrain extension. There's no speculation on that. Willoughby is not going to be affected. The Skytrain is not going through there. It's close to the highway, but the biggest thing I think has to do with crime and family-friendly communities. That's why you see Fleetwood and Willoughby being at the top here. So if you're going to be considering any specific area, a lot of people think that because you're close to the Skytrain, your value of your home is going to go up. If you have a large property acreage that is going to get developed, then yeah, sure, you'll get maybe 2-3 times the value. But if you're in a condo, if you're in a townhouse, likely not. For example, these people that bought in this area, they're pretty much stuck, right? At least for the next 10 to 20 years, until this building is to the point where enough even owners want to sell this. Because you got to understand, like, the only people who are viewing this Skytrain is the people that are on Fraser. Everybody else behind them, there's actually some units with some decent backyards that are facing the complete opposite direction. And obviously they have a pretty good area location. They're not dealing with the inconvenience of the views and the sound. So they might be holding off from selling. And so that way, like, developers might not be interested in wasting their time on a project like this. If you're thinking about investing in an area like this, take into consideration that, an area like Willoughby, more family friendly, better schools, closer to the highway, is going to do a lot better in the long run than an area that's going to be, overpopulated with traffic, just for that extra convenience of being able to get downtown Vancouver. If you have any questions about how this is going to affect your home value, if you want a home evaluation, as well as if you want to see listings in or outside of these areas. There's also a website that's backed by AI and can suggest you homes that you're actually within your search parameters. So it's a super cool website. You can check that out. It's also in the comments or the description below. And if you want to see more videos like this, just make sure you subscribe. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.